Welcome to hybiz News. My name is Suresh Kochatar. Now that Donald Trump and the US delegation is back in the United States after a 36-hour whirlwind visit, the Indian government has begun to work out the next steps of what looks to be a breakthrough on the trade deal. The first leg of the India-US trade deal will largely be about tariff concessions on goods and will be concluded in about 3 months. On the other hand, a larger free trade agreement that will be all-encompassing and is likely to take time will include aspects other than goods such as services, intellectual property rights, and investment. The initial deal is likely to include restoration of benefits of low or zero duty to certain Indian exports under the Generalized System of Preferences, or GSP as it's called, and the market access for each other's agricultural product. This is going to be pretty tricky as the political lobbies, particularly in India, are likely to raise a hue and cry. The first leg of what has been negotiated in the last 1 odd year includes agriculture, but also dairy as a part of it. Automobiles and e-commerce will not be in the ambit. Though India's exports under the GSP product lines rose 5.5% year-on-year in June-December period of 2019, faster than the 1.9 registered in the total exports to US in the same period. The Commerce and Industry Ministry of the Government of India has identified the sectors where the exports have declined or where the exporters need GSP, such as in textiles and leather footwear. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal is of the view that India and the US can reach trade deals over a much larger scale, at a faster pace, and aim for a target of $500 billion in bilateral trade over the next 10 years from the existing $160 billion. Whatever will be done in the best interest of the stakeholders of both the countries, assured the minister. Minister Piyush Goyal was releasing a report on the $500 billion roadmap, which said that India and US were engaged in a true spirit of friendship, and the $500 billion target in the bilateral trade is certainly achievable. The report, jointly prepared by the Confederation of Indian Industry and the US-India Business Council, highlighted 3 possible scenarios which can be targeted to be achieved in 2030, 2035 and 2052. Let's look at the first scenario. The soaring scenario, as it's called, assumes positive policy and regulatory moves and significant increase in trade engagement, bringing bilateral trade growth to 11.8% and reaching $500 billion mark by 2030, which is exactly 10 years from now. Under the chugging deal, which is the second option, the bilateral trade relationship and key drivers of economic growth largely remain unchanged at 7.9% growth rate, making it to the target attainable by 2035, which is 15 years from now. The last, limping scenario, assumes that a deterioration in the India-US trade deal and relationship, with bilateral trade growing at an annual pace of 3.9% over the next several decades, and will cross the $500 billion mark only in 2052. Piyush Goyal said that he is confident of achieving the target fast because the two countries talk to each other as equals and have a commonality of purpose. According to the $500 billion roadmap, trade relations between India and China and the US could be an opportune occasion for a major fillip in the India-US trade ties. Many American companies are actively exploring alternative investment destinations to relocate the manufacturing supply chains from China, and India could be a competitive destination, more so in the post-coronavirus era. The report listed interventions in 13 specific areas, which, if resolved, will provide a significant thrust to trade between the two countries, but turning challenges into opportunities. We are moving towards the FTA and will make small changes to include this FTA. GSP, for instance, may be tweaked, said the minister. The FTA will, however, have to go beyond just goods to incorporate IPR, investment and services, and also issues related to visas and manpower movement, India's key demand, which the US is unlikely to concede only after some tough negotiations. The FTA will include many more issues. Limited deal is also about goods and market access. The move to do a limited scale trade deal is to ensure that it will instill confidence in the industry and things will move forward till the time that an all-encompassing FTA is finalized. According to the information that is coming in, the United States Trade Representative has begun filing the process to initiate FTA talks. The US Trade Promotion Authority requires the administration to notify Congress 90 calendar days prior to entering into a trade agreement. Whether we'll reach the target of $500 billion remains to be seen. Thank you for watching.